Hello, and welcome to Around the Political World with John Rothman. I am your host, John Rothman. If you're a fan of the show, make sure to hit the follow button on the top right of Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you are listening at this very moment. When you hit follow, leave a review or share an episode with a friend. It helps other people discover the show, keeps us going, and as I like to remind you each and every day, it expands our base. The state of Louisiana has made a decision. A law passed by the legislature, signed by the governor, that in every classroom in Louisiana, from kindergarten through college, the 10 Commandments will be posted. My goodness gracious. Now, let's think about Louisiana as a state, the home of the kingfish, Huey Long, a long tradition of being a segregationist state. Remember who the Republicans nominated for governor some years ago? David Duke. And now the Republicans have decided that they are going to impose the 10 Commandments on the children of Louisiana. I want to remind you that the Bill of Rights is very clear. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble, to petition the government for a redress of grievances. You know it as the Bill of Rights. I want to be very clear about this. I believe in a separation of church and state. I believe that religion does not belong in a classroom. I believe very strongly that rather than posting the 10 Commandments, they ought to post the Bill of Rights. And they ought to learn what's in the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution of the United States, which were designed to protect our liberties. This is a serious question. Now, it's going to go all the way to the Supreme Court. I have no doubt about it. The last time it went to the Supreme Court was 1980. The court had a very different complexion, and who knows what the court will do now. But some of you are thinking, wait a minute, John, have you been to the Supreme Court building in Washington? The answer is yes. And isn't it true that above the bench there is a display of the 10 Commandments? And the answer is yes. That's art. And it's not designed to influence the opinion of the court. It is designed to remind us of history. Now, the governor of Louisiana says that's exactly what this is all about, remembering history. I would suggest to the governor of Louisiana that he better read the Constitution again. Remember, he took an oath to defend the Constitution as well. There shall be no establishment of religion. Well, what if you're not a Christian or a Jew? Where do the 10 Commandments fit in if you're a Sikh or a Muslim or a Hindu or whatever you may be? And that's the whole point. We want our kids to learn. And if, in fact, as many of us contend, democracy is under threat, then the answer is what Al Smith said. Al Smith, governor of New York, 4 terms, and the Democratic candidate for president in 1928, the first Catholic to be nominated for president, said this: the only cure for the ills of democracy is more democracy. And Al Smith was right. God bless his soul. And so when you stop and you think about what it means in this moment to have a state talk about the 10 Commandments. Oh, wait, I forgot. We had Alabama. Do you remember Roy Moore, Judge Roy Moore, who also wanted the 10 Commandments established in that great state and who built the monument, put it up on the State House lawn, and guess what? It had to be removed. And he, by the way, was defeated when he ran for political office in that great state. So let me be crystal clear about this. There's another issue. Which 10 Commandments would you post? The one in Exodus or the one in Deuteronomy? Yes, they are different expressions, different wording. That's the whole point, ladies and gentlemen. There is one constant in America. The Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution of the United States. They don't change. They are the same. They reflect the values of America. If you want to learn about the 10 Commandments, go to your church or synagogue. If you want to learn the history of Moses, see the Ten Commandments, which, by the way, is a very good film and quite accurate. But don't impose religion on students. It's wrong. I take the same position about prayer in school. Oh, wait. I have to be honest. I always said a prayer in school just before the test. But it was a silent prayer. It was not a communal prayer. And the whole idea was, if you have faith in a higher power, if you believe in your faith, or if you want to accept the Ten Commandments, God bless you. But it doesn't belong in the classroom, on a poster. And I suggest to you that in this campaign of 2024, the Republican Party is going to have to deal with this question as well. Where is the separation of church and state? What does it mean? So I expect the Louisiana case will go all the way to the Supreme Court. And if the Supreme Court has any integrity at all, it will say, don't display the Ten Commandments in a classroom. But I do want to suggest, and I make this a clear and decisive feeling, put the Bill of Rights up. Have the kids talk about the Bill of Rights. Have them memorize the Bill of Rights. Have them learn about the essentials of American liberty. That's what to do in the classroom. Thanks for tuning into another episode of Around the Political World. Make sure to follow along and let me know your thoughts on the show by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts and sharing an episode with a friend or colleague so we can continue to grow and expand. You can interact with me on Facebook and LinkedIn. And I want to express my deep appreciation to the wonderful producer of Around the Political World with John Rothman, Gogo Zoger. Gogo, thanks a million. If there are 10 commandments that I follow, well, one of them would include listening to the advice of Gogo Zoger. I am John Rothman, and we will see you tomorrow, right here on Around the Political World with John Rothman. See you then.